What up, y'all? Josh and Isi here once again with another quality video. I like that. Shameless plug.
Or whatever,
Shameless plug on the merch.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Last time you guys saw us, we were at Six Flags living our best life.
Cedar Point,
living our best lives. We thought that we were going to end up inevitably vlogging the rest of that trip, but so many beautiful
intimate a lot of intimate moments
came from those non-camera moments.
Days, yeah. The 2 days that we did not vlog while we were there.
Yeah, we pulled up on my grandma.
Yeah,
that was a vibe.
Yeah,
we pulled up on my godmama. That was a vibe.
Yeah,
like both were like very refreshing conversations.
100%. And that was the first time we've ever been able, or even you,
in
your adult life, has been able to do that.
Man, so like to give you guys a little backstory, from the time I was born, literally from the time I was born, my dad was a pastor at Mount Zion. When he got that job, 2 weeks later, I was born. From that time up until I was 11, my godmom, Sister Howard, she loved me to pieces. Literally loved me to pieces. Like on weekends, it was almost like she had like joint custody of me.
That's what it sounds like.
She potty trained me, whole lot of stuff. Treated me throughout my entire childhood,
and adult life, though.
and adulthood. Like,
but you're talking about like that intimate, close
like
proximity.
Intimate. Like we were always at her house. Like I was always spending the night over there. She was taking me out to good times, which is like a little. It's like Chuck E. Cheese back in the day. But
she's like your second mom.
She's like my second mom.
Yeah.
When I was 11, we moved. That was a heartbreaker. A real heartbreaker, because that was the first time me and her were separated for more than like a couple days.
Right.
And we haven't had the opportunity to
reunite.
Like we've seen each other
in passing. Right?
In passing, like we've been to the same events and stuff like that. But like that was the first time where it was like, yo, I'm here.
Back in your like second childhood home.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
back
cool.
in my childhood home with my godmom, like intentionally.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was there for. Other times it was like I was here for something else. She was there. We met up. Cool. Said hi. How you doing? But like that time was like, this is why I'm here.
We came here to spend time with you.
Yep.
And it was her birthday.
Turned 75.
She looks incredible.
She looks incredible.
It's insane.
She looks incredible.
She moves, talks, walks, all of that. Like she's at least 50.
40.
40?
She moves. Like she is mobile. But yeah, it was great seeing her. Then great pulling up on my grandma. Learned a lot, actually.
She turns 89 in December. Yeah. His grandma's always been super sweet to me. So it was so nice because she was somebody else like we've only seen in passing. Whenever it was like an event in Cleveland, we'd be there for like an hour, maybe two max, and then we'd have to hit the road. Yeah. But this trip was intentional.
Spent the whole day with her.
So yeah, and she didn't believe us. That was the funny part. We told her like 3 weeks ago we were coming.
I was like, Grandma, we coming? She was like, y'all ain't coming.
Y'all ain't coming.
And stop lying to me. Y'all ain't coming. And sure enough, my brother snuck us up there and surprised us. She was so ecstatic to see us. So ecstatic. And then we just sat there. And you know what's so cool about like older generations?
What?
So much wisdom.
Yeah, 100%.
So much history.
I was gonna say the history part. That's the crazy
much
part.
Wisdom. There's just so much that can be gained from just simple conversations with older adults.
Yeah. I'm glad we're both like that. I feel like some people in this generation or younger think like, oh, I ain't got time for that and blah, blah, blah. But they hold so much. Like, and what's crazy is right before we left your grandma, because she was talking about her grandmother, and it made me realize, all right, if she's going to be 89 in December, blah, blah, then her grandmother had to have been a slave. So I asked her, and she was like, yeah, she was sold 3 times.
Bought and sold 3 times.
So we're going to have to revisit that conversation next time we see her, because we were about to head out when that conversation happened. But like, even to hear, it's just like, I've always known that we're not far removed from it, but the fact that you have a living grandparent that remembers her grandparent being a slave, that says so much.
It's crazy.
Says a lot. It's crazy.
Says a lot. And she told me that she was half Indian. I didn't know I had that much Indian in me.
Yeah, right.
Like you just don't know.
You don't.
You don't
Unless
know
you ask
unless you
and
ask
talk
and have
to
the
them.
conversation. And I had that idea of like sitting her down interview style and just running back the history.
I think that'd be so
just to
dope.
have like video documentation because we live in a different age.
100%.
Her stories can live on forever if we just get them on camera.
Yeah, I like that.
You know?
Yeah.
So I really want to like get back there and do that for real. But in that moment, you know, we said no cameras.
Right.
In that specific moment, we're like, nah.
All these, because even with your godmom, we were like there for 5 hours, I think.
5, 6
and then
hours.
Same with your grandma. So those type of moments were just for our personal experience.
Those are locked in the
Those
memory
memories,
banks.
yeah. I'm glad we did it, honestly, because I don't have any living grandparents. So it's kind of like,
And that's wild.
yeah, exactly.
That's wild.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, I kind of got something from it for myself, even though that's like your grandmother. I mean, I'm about to be married, so she's technically my grandma too.
Yep.
She treats me like her own, so it was great. It was a great
good
experience.
times. Good vibes. Good energy. Good energy has surrounded us, ladies and gentlemen. Good energy has surrounded us just in the simplest of ways. The simplest of ways. We went to, what is this place called? Kitchen and Cocktails?
Yes.
Kitchen and Cocktails.
Is this, can we turn down the mics a little bit? You don't feel like it's a little piercing?
I can,
When
here,
you
let
talk,
me turn it
it's
down.
piercing in my ear.
Let me turn it down like that. So
That's
way.
that's soothing, yeah.
That's better?
Smooth jazz.
Okay. I didn't want to turn it down on there because for a long time, the volume for the people watching has to be turned all the way up for them to hear us, which is why I boosted
Are we still
it.
good? Are
Yeah, we're
still
good.
in here? Okay.
We're good.
But yes, kitchen and cocktails.
Kitchen and Cocktails.
So we were invited to go to that yesterday. They had their grand opening 2 weeks ago, and basically we were invited to this media dinner, so we get to experience the whole restaurant, appetizers, drinks, etc. What we did not know until we walked in that joint was
Number one, black
owned.
owned. Wow.
It was incredible. Like, well, I have it on my phone. Eventually, if you follow me on the gram, you will see the content. But like Barack Obama and Michelle Obama in there. They had Oprah Winfrey, Chance the Rapper, all Chicago like legends were on the wall. I didn't mean to say Chance the Rapper first, but I don't know if he's legendary just yet.
Yeah,
but you know,
I mean,
he's
Chicago
dope, you know,
native.
100%.
Yeah, everybody knows Chance.
Jesse White was on there. Dude who actually owned the place. Oh, and that was a cool thing too. We actually met the owner. Like he came and like introduced himself to the whole room, went to the tables individually and stuff. So it's just always dope. Like,
It's so dope to see black people winning.
yeah, perfect way to put it.
Hey,
Perfect
and
way to put it.
that's not to discredit other races, but it's just really dope to see people that look like us winning. It just feels
Period.
good.
And the crowd was so diverse. That was the dope thing too.
Very
Because
diverse
dude
crowd.
is an attorney. I forgot what attorney in particular, but he's an attorney who I guess recently has started launching his like franchise because he has one in Dallas. One of the restaurants in Dallas was the first place.
Yeah.
Just placed one here in Chicago and is looking to place a third one somewhere else in a pretty big city coming up soon. So
Yep.
just even that, being around that energy, because that's a similar energy to us. It doesn't necessarily have to be the fact that we want a restaurant and stuff, but just like multiple streams of income, hustles. Make sure that's not my mama. Sorry, y'all. Multiple streams of income, multiple hustles, just like bringing a crowd together. And like, I felt the restaurant was like an experience.
It definitely was. The food was good.
The food was good.
The drinks, fire.
I feel like we need to explain a little bit. It's
Okay.
black on, so we can give him a little bit
It's
more
black
love
on.
than
So
that.
there's some southern food up in there, y'all. They got
Collard greens,
mac
and cheese,
candy yams,
lamb chops.
lamb chops were bussing. They do them.
For appetizer, they offered lamb chops.
Man, they did it jerk style.
Right, so I had a little spike, little kick to
on
it.
And I know like they're getting some shameless promo right now.
Oh, 100%.
They're getting 100%. But we bring up this because in that moment, so like we didn't have a table to ourselves, which was actually kind of cool
Yeah.
when you start thinking about it, because like the tables encourage people to sit with people
each
they
other.
didn't know.
Right, yeah.
So we're sitting at what started as strangers, and then just conversation sparked between me and this nice lady, Kim,
Who was sitting right next to us, yeah.
sitting right next to us. And then all of a sudden, one thing leads to another. We're going back and forth. They ask us what we do. We explain that we're, YouTubers, social media influencers.
I don't just do YouTube.
You're right. But most times people want to know, like, how does YouTube work? Mm-hmm. And we were just giving out free game.
Social media in general, babe.
Yeah.
We weren't really talking to her much about
You're right.
YouTube, if you think about it. It's social media.
In general.
We basically laid it on her thick. Everything that we have learned within the last 3 to 5 years, the good, the bad, the ugly, what works, what doesn't, we laid it all on Kim. Because she had already like a business plan, like not even a plan. She actively has a business going on. She just doesn't know how to translate it into social media. And she's, I won't say, significantly older than us. She's probably more than half our age.
She said she was in her 40s.
Okay.
So she was in her early 40s. She started back in 2019. It's so
Right.
crazy I remember the story, but like she was such a nice lady.
Yeah, she was.
She started her Divine Dining Tours.
Mm-hmm. Check her out.
Check her
on
out.
Instagram.
If I can find
and
her
Facebook.
actual I
That's the
believe it's
thing.
on Facebook more than anything.
I was gonna say.
She's transferring over into Instagram, which is what we encouraged her to do.
Yes.
But yeah, she does dining tours for groups throughout Chicago.
Black woman, by the way.
Black woman.
Black-owned business.
Black-owned business, which was really cool. And she basically takes them to places they've never seen before, like restaurants.
Different restaurants.
She put us on
She
to some
put us on
restaurants
about 6-7 different restaurants.
that we now have to go check out
Oh my
because
gosh.
she's just like us. She's a foodie.
Yeah.
She's like,
but that's her job. Like
It's
her
her
job
job.
is trying different places, new places. If they're good, okay, leave a review. And that's how she got invited to the place yesterday for
Yep.
the second time. She went at the grand opening and she said overall the experience was really good and stuff. It was just some dress code, whatever.
Yeah, it was a dress code misunderstanding.
But her second time around, the owner came up to her like, "Oh, you're the one that left a bad review." And she said she didn't even leave a bad review. She just left her on. She was like,
Yeah,
great
she left an
experience."
honest review.
Honest review, right? And I think that them inviting her back was kind of like trying to redeem.
Yeah.
Make sure, did you have a good experience this time around and stuff like that. So even that is
I can
dope,
appreciate
though.
that.
Yeah, even that concept. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to make the next experience better than the first experience.
And I don't want to lose track of Kim, but I was also going to say it was dope too because the majority of the employees, the host stand, the waiters, the bartenders, Black.
It's just
That was
nice.
amazing.
It's just nice to see.
And they were very, like, customer service was top
Hospitable.
tier. We ended up finding out at the end of the night, after all was said and done, our waitress was a quality crew member. And she was so
Shout out to Faith.
sweet. Faith, we remember you, girl.
Remember you.
She was like, make sure y'all ask for me next time, which we definitely will.
definitely
We'll be
will.
going back. And the drinks was, it was a dope experience.
It was just an overall dope experience. Really dope experience. And like, sometimes we decide to capture these things on camera. Other times we don't. But it always seems like the ones we don't capture on camera be like
the most fulfilling.
the most fulfilling.
But I think we needed that because, like, the dope thing about Kim also was just how appreciative she was. It's like nice to give free game, so to speak, to someone who genuinely wants it,
Yeah.
and is genuinely appreciative of it.
Yeah.
That in itself is just fulfilling. And as we're telling her all of this, she was like, y'all can monetize this information, right? I'm like, yeah, we've thought about that. I
Yeah.
definitely thought about that. As a long-term goal or whatever, but just in that moment, it felt right because
give
we
it
can
to
all win, and that's kind of the problem with the Black community that not all of us know about. Like, oftentimes, there's people who feel like only one person can be at the top. We're not those type of people that think that way.
We are the exact opposite
exact
when it comes to
opposite.
thinking like that. Like we said it the other day because she was trying to say to us, like, most people would like hoard this information to
Right.
themselves. And we're like, your success has nothing
To do
with
us.
ours.
Yep, doesn't take any money out of our pockets.
So we would like, that's just selfish
Yeah.
at the end of the day for us to just be hoarding it from you in the thought, because of the thought that thinking that like, oh, you might win over us.
I love to see Black people
Love
win.
it.
Yes,
Love it.
Love
I
it.
wish everybody operated like that. If you like, even Akon made his career off helping other people's careers. That man is now a billionaire. Ba-ba-dum. like it your lane should never, you should never feel like someone's impeding on your lane unless they're like verbatim copying you every move that you make kind of thing. Okay, yeah, you can kind of call that out. But like for the most part, all these industries, hell, couples channels that rock with us, or like other couples channels that work beside us. Us eating does not interfere at all with them eating as well. Two different people, two different styles, two different contents.
Yeah.
Everybody can win.
Yeah.
Literally everybody can win. I
Yeah.
don't think people understand how much money is out in the
That's
world.
what I kept telling her. I was like, there's so much money out here, in particular in this industry, the social media way. And like I told you this a long time ago, just like, and I don't even think I really fully gathered my thoughts on it, but just the fact that social media is allowing, in particular, Black young millennials to change this narrative in this country. Because a good example, I don't really watch him anymore, but DDG, that he's been a millionaire since like 2021.
Yep.
Like I'm saying the age 20 or 21 years old,
Yeah.
not 2021. Our friends, De'Aaron Ken, millionaires, young, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so dope that we're in this day and age now where, one, we can be our own bosses. We don't have to answer to somebody else. And like, even when you think about the corporate world, how like there's an issue with the way Black people wear their hair. Now we're in a space where you can create your own job, and it doesn't even have to be like you have to be a social media influencer, just an online business in general.
In general, you can sell stuff. You can be a consultant. You can be the middleman between product and consumer. Like, there's so many different ways. Like trading, like you can learn so many different ways to make money without having to conform to this societal norm that has been established by people that don't look like us.
I guess what the best way for me to put it is that social media takes out the discrimination factor to an extent.
To an extent.
Now, when it comes to brand deals and stuff, okay. But I'm saying at the end of the day, if you're not doing brand, you can still make money and not even have to work with one brand in your life.
Yep.
And be good.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, it's dope where we're at right now.
It's a dope time we're living. The age of the internet is a very dope time.
But
I was going to get real deep for a second, but then I said, let me retract.
why?
Because I was going to be like, we're also watching a new asset class develop right before our eyes.
Why don't you want to talk about it?
Cryptocurrency. Oh. It's a deep rabbit hole.
Okay, yeah, that's deep. That's
a deep rabbit hole. But just so you guys know, you're literally watching a new asset class. Same thing as like you have real estate, you have the stock market. Crypto is going to be another asset class and is developing right before people's eyes. So as these things grow and develop, obviously the price of these things grow and develop. So a lot of smart people are dropping little seeds all over the crypto market.
Honestly, because I've seen this quote a couple of times on social media, just about like the worst thing that you can do, in particular in your 20s, is not invest in yourself. And I feel like that's real. Like,
real.
It might seem like, oh, I don't want to, and you don't have to put a lot in.
No.
That's the thing. Like, just sprinkle, like you just said, sprinkle a little here, sprinkle a little there out of your checks and stuff like that. 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, you, or even like your kids or your like they will thank you for that type of stuff later. And this is the thing, like that's another, what is a good word? I can almost say downfall, but we were set up this way. Downfall of the Black community is lack of financial literacy. You know what I mean? So like, I think that it's good that you brought up the crypto thing, and I like that every once in a while we'll touch on kind of like stocks and whatnot, because that's us contributing to avoiding that.
You know, I didn't want to detract this whole video and go down the rabbit hole of like, you should do this, and this kind of like.
I mean, hydrated hero content.
Hydrated hero content. And you know, what's crazy is it's something that I want to start bringing to, honestly, the gram. Just because it's a little simpler for me to do that within like a 1-minute video instead of like making an entire another YouTube video mixed in with Josh and EC content and stuff like that. But it's something that I do want to start like trying to build upon. Like, what books am I reading? Just something as simple as like, what books am I reading? Maybe give them a little tidbit about that. Or like just simple things you can do to like set yourself up for the future. Everybody's so focused on the right now. How much money can I look like rather than how much money can I actually make? Like, there's a lot of things that's
real.
It's kind of like our generation kind of got like screwed over by like designer.
You don't think that's always been?
It was
Well, you know what? The internet age, though.
the age
now
of the
you're able
internet.
to see it almost
Yeah.
all over your timeline, all over your feed, all the time.
It makes everybody want to go above and
Yeah.
beyond to look successful rather than be successful.
That's real. That's real. And so many people, do you remember on my Instagram story, some point this year, I let people ask me questions and somebody asked about your Vans or whatever. And my response, I don't know, they were kind of trying to throw shade, basically, like, why does he only wear Vans type energy? And like, I read them respectfully, just in the sense where I'm like, I admire actually the fact that, one, you have your own style. You don't care about following trends. You don't care about being accepted and wearing the latest Jordans and stuff like that, because not only is that very attractive to me, it's also a smart financial move. That's the epitome of financial literacy, low key,
Yeah.
because when you think about people who don't necessarily look like us but are where we want to be in the future, they aren't wearing Gucci. Even Jay-Z is a perfect example. That man don't rock the stuff that he used to rock when he was,
That is true.
you know what I mean?
Now his clothes might be more expensive than we ever know.
Duh.
Because he's on
I'm
some
saying, but
billionaire stuff.
still,
But like, I understand where you're
come on
coming
now.
from. I
You know
get
what
where
I'm
you're coming
saying.
from. It's a different. It's
not flashy.
It's not flashy. Look, what we've always said: money talks, but wealth whispers. I'm trying to whisper. And a book that I'll probably make an Instagram post about. Heck, it might be going up today. But Rick Ross,
Oh yeah.
Perfect Day to Boss Up. He said in there, like, down in Miami, everything's kind of like unrealistic. You could see a guy going down the street in a Lamborghini. You wouldn't even know he rented it for the day.
For the day.
You wouldn't even know he just rented it for the day. You think, oh, what is he doing? He's
Yeah.
living his life. He said, you can go to New England, pull up to a guy in a Prius, wouldn't even know the man's worth $100 million.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That over there,
Yeah.
that ladder,
Yeah.
I'll be in my weak little Vans, whatever. I'll be wearing regular clothes and I'll be chilling. But if I want to take you on a trip to Hawaii, I can do it. No questions, no thoughts
Right,
about it. If I want
right.
to take you on a trip around the world, I can do it. No questions, no thought about it. I don't have to prove that to the world around me.
Right. And I've noticed there's less eyes too,
Yeah.
which I like though, because low key, some of the time when we go out, I'm starting to kind of feel away like maybe I shouldn't have wore this purse, or maybe I shouldn't have, because I don't like that much
You
attention.
get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And I've noticed, like, I love your fashion. I love your style.
Thank
It's
you.
very unique. It's very eclectic. Like, people are going to notice that. And sometimes when we go out, we get a lot of stares and we're like, dang, do they know we're famous or do we just like dress nice? Like, we don't know. But yeah, that comes with the territory. So when you put on the flashy stuff, when you do all that, eyes are coming.
Yeah.
If you think that you finna walk outside with a diamond chain and no one's gonna look,
Man.
I dare say you messed up.
And sometimes it can obviously attract the
wrong.
attention.
Yep.
So
Because there's hungry folk out here too that are doing some crazy stuff for $1.
for some change, strange
Strange things for
some
change.
yeah.
And I don't want to be caught on the wrong end of somebody's aggression just because I decided to look flashy. I'd rather just let my bank account do the talking when push comes to shove.
Yeah.
But that's free game.
It's interesting.
That's some free game for
So
y'all.
interesting. I was gonna say, even with like the Lamborghini rental and thing in Miami, another example, a lot of influencers have been doing for a couple years now. I think like there's this, I don't know where it's at, but there's some jet setup, like a jet, like photo shoot setup. The jet never
doesn't
takes
take
off. People just rent it, take pictures in it, and then dip. That's interesting to me.
Flex culture.
It's a flex. We are in a flex culture.
I'm not with it.
I don't like it.
I'm not with it.
Yeah.
Flex culture is dangerous. You'll be spending
It's to
so
keep-
much
it's
money
keep up
trying
with
to
the
keep up.
Joneses,
You'll
yeah.
spend so much money trying to keep up, then turn around and be like, dang, if I would have just took all that money
And invested.
and invested,
Right.
be in a much different position. Because now you're just looking at a bunch of stuff that like it was cool for that week, and now
Yeah.
it's not cool no more.
You know what? And that's something that, and okay, so, quality combos, we like to keep it real. So
Keep it
I can
buck.
also live at my edge and admit that I have fallen at one point into flex culture. In particular, and I don't know if we've ever talked about it on here, when it really kind of like set in for me was before the pandemic hit, the first time I went to YouTube Black. And it was an incredible experience overall, but I made myself feel inferior to those around me because the YouTube black scene is the top of the top, best of the best black.
Creme de la crop.
Yeah. YouTubers. So the money shows, okay?
Yeah.
And it was like, basically I left YouTube black feeling like I never wanted to feel that feeling again of like feeling less than because I didn't have this or that or because I didn't look a certain way or blah, 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 blah. And I feel like after that had happened, that's when I started getting into like buying all those Jordans and starting to buy, well, even the funny thing is, even though I do have designer purses now, I am still my mother at heart. Like I'm still, so I get a lot of like my designer purses from like, majority of them are like resold or whatever. So I still kind of try to be a little frugal with it. But even now, as time has progressed, I've realized like, these things aren't really doing much for me. They don't feed my soul or spirit or like necessarily, I won't say it doesn't fill that void. I feel like the void needed to be filled internally. It wasn't like a materialistic void that needed to be filled. At that time, I felt like it was. But now, I mean, although I was going to say I don't regret the purchases. I'm not going to lie. If I calculate all that shit, I probably do regret it a little bit.
You're going to regret something. You calculate them purchases.
But I don't regret it in the sense where it was a learning experience. I needed to figure that out for myself. Like having all these materialistic things, trying to keep up with the Joneses and the flex code. And ultimately, I feel like the reason I fell into that is because of my career. Like, it's nothing but your appearance.
It's social status.
Part. Yeah, it's social status. So it's kind of like I had to figure out for myself that balance of like, all right, you see, what is you and what is the you that was influenced by others in your industry, your peers or whatever. And I feel like I'm just now starting to tap into what is EC. And it's been an interesting journey, but to live out that journey on social media is different in your 20s. So flex culture, if you are someone who like is in it or you kind of can relate to this conversation that we're having, that's why I wanted to bring it up because I don't want people to feel like, at least for me personally, oh, that's something that's never affected us and blah, blah, blah. That's affected my mental for some years now.
I think the big question that, like, I'm not going to knock anybody for wanting to, want nice things or anything like that. My thing that you guys should probably ask yourself is, what is your why behind it, though? What is your why behind it? Do you like these things because they're nice, or do you like these things because people validate those nice things? That's when you start losing yourself in the cycle of like, okay, am I doing this for the validation of others, or am I doing this for the validation of myself? I
can confidently say all them goddamn Jordans were the validation of others. For some reason, a year or two ago, they were trending.
They were hitting. I mean, they were fly on your feet, but I see like one or two of them bad boys come
that
out
I wear, consistently.
Consistent.
All the rest is kind of like, really? Did you need them? I didn't need it, but I needed to learn.
Yeah, I think you needed to learn a lesson. Luckily, you paid enough to be able to make that lesson and not be in a hole.
Right.
But
yeah.
For some people, that's not the case, though. Some people spend their last just to keep up. And that's a problem. You spent $300 on Jordans. You could have bought $300 worth of stock that could have appreciated even 10% and got you $30 extra. You know,
or saved it for your rent, because if you're saying they're spending on their last, then they can't even put it in a stock.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's opportunity costs to keeping up with the Joneses, but like I've come to the realization. Well, I came to this realization a very long time ago that it's not the things that I wear; it's like the experiences that I have, and like I'm rich in relationships. I feel like I'm a very wealthy man in relationships. Yeah, when I can speak to somebody. Kim from the restaurant, she prayed for us.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we forgot to mention at the end of the night before we left.
She gave us a powerful prayer, and that in itself was like, yo.
She almost made me cry. I said, you about to make me cry in front of the room full of people.
That stuff is more powerful to me than dollars and stuff like that. Like you can there's always a way to get money out here, right? But like when you have like those deep connections with people, like it's priceless.
And I feel like her doing that kind of validated like we're on the right track, because for us it's always about like how can we help people, how can we better people's lives, what type of positive light can we bring into someone's life. So I feel like whenever, and we've had a couple of experiences like that when we meet people and it's just like
please
they either
keep
pray over us
going,
or yeah, please keep
encourage
going.
us.
Like, yeah. And that is a beautiful thing because it really feels like, all right, we are. Because it's honestly hard to keep track on your success in this career.
Yeah.
It's like, are we doing good?
You could be your own
It's a
worst
numbers
enemy.
thing, to
Yeah.
be honest. And if the numbers don't look good, you feel like, oh, I'm not doing good. But then when you meet people like that are telling you like, nah,
You're doing great.
yeah, it
That's
feels
when
good.
I'm like, wow,
yeah,
it's worth
that's
it.
what we do it for.
Yep.
So
It's kind of like a constant reminder of like why we're doing this. Especially like I love getting out and actually like interacting with the people that meet us. Like it's one thing to be in front of the camera and then like see the comments and be like, okay, cool. You
Yeah.
know, people are responding really well to it. They like this stuff. It's another to like look them in their eyes. They tell you like how much you mean to like the relationship,
how you
like
change their life,
how I'm
or-
changing your perspective,
Yeah.
or like that kind of stuff. Like really, that fills me up. I can pass away tomorrow and know that like my soul is filled, like my spirit is fulfilled. I'm more concerned about that than any dollar.
Yeah.
Hence why my clothes look the same as they did dang near 6 months ago. I think I like the way I go about my spending though. I buy clothes that I feel like can last me
Longevity.
longevity. Like I bought these.
But those are good quality shirts though.
Good quality shirt. Exactly. Good quality shirts. That- can't take that away from the shirt. You know, I can come back and be like, well, I can put on this plain shirt. It's not like graphic. So I'm like, oh, I feel kind of immature.
Yeah.
It's just plain.
Yeah.
Plain gray.
Add a little chain or something.
Add a
too,
little chain.
sauce.
A little sauce, little flavor. Simple, easy, breezy, beautiful. Cover man. Yeah. But it's free game, y'all. Honestly, hopefully you guys take the stuff that we're saying and think on it.
Yeah. You don't have to do any
You
of
don't
it.
have to do anything. Don't feel like you're obligated to do anything that we say. Just take it and
A little food for thought.
think on it. Really give your life an assessment.
Audit.
Your life.
That's been my biggest thing lately. Auditing my life.
Man,
All aspects of it.
we've been doing that a lot. We audited our relationship. We audited ourselves. We audited,
My closet,
man.
friendships, my job, my career. Like,
If you're not constantly auditing those things, though, like, it's bad. The same way, like, if you don't know how to look at a balance sheet and you own a business,
the
Come on.
fact that this mic picked up that motorcycle
good
all the
mic.
way, that's crazy.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, like the same way, if you own a business but you don't know how to read your own balance sheet, your accountant could be stealing money from you every month. You don't know. Just gotta trust it. By some point, somebody, if everyone knows that you don't know what you're doing, someone's gonna take advantage. So, same sense. If you're not auditing your relationships, if you're not auditing yourself, if you're not auditing
I
your
was
life,
wondering, I was waiting for the connect.
if you're not auditing all these things,
Yeah.
someone
We'll
in
take
the
it.
mix will take advantage.
That's real. That's real.
Some people take advantage of your kindness. Some people take advantage of your financial status. Some people just take advantage of your social status.
I was going to say, even like auditing your health.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's something that I've done this year. And now I'm in the gym, even without you. Like, I can get it in by myself.
You can even take advantage of your own health.
Exactly.
I'm
Otherwise,
healthy. I'll just eat what I want. I'm good.
but then the pounds start coming on. Or maybe the pounds don't come, but internally
Your
things
body's
are-
suffering.
Exactly. It's taking advantage of you.
Taking advantage.
Fast food is taking advantage of you. So, like, auditing your life is important.
Consistently. Consistently auditing it. And that's the best way to grow too. You assess it. And be like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what I've been doing right these past 6 months. This is what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah.
Same way like we found out about our groceries. Spending way too
Auditing
much.
the bank account.
Audit.
Yeah.
And then we did the polar opposite. I don't think we informed them.
What?
So we decided to go grocery shopping earlier at the beginning of the month. Blew way too much money. We overbought. So we're working on it. Okay. We got to find that happy medium. But at first we weren't shopping at all.
Yeah.
Then we're like, all right, we're going to shop and we're not going to eat out. So we went and bought as much as we could. And that was pretty dumb on our part because obviously these things have timestamps.
Yeah.
So
Things expire.
things expire.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so we ended up losing a lot of food to waste, which is terrible, but learning lesson. So now we figured like, okay, we can buy for like the next week and a half to 2 weeks and be cool. We're going to have to do more consistent shopping, but it can't just be like we buy everything at the beginning of the month and hope to God.
Right.
It lasts us
we
the month.
We were in Sam's Club for an hour or so. We went to Walmart for an hour or so. I feel like we went somewhere else too.
Yeah. We went a couple of places. It wasn't the smartest move, but we had the best intentions. Had the best intentions to change our lives. But now, like, I got some food preps down. We got some ways to save, the meats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're getting better.
It's a learning process. I mean, I think this is kind of just a part of the 20s, to be honest. I'm going to just chalk it up as figuring that shit out as we go, to be honest.
Thank God we don't have to do this with a kid, though. I think that would be unfair to the kid.
I know, like, what do we do?
We're still trying to figure it out, too. Baby's looking at us like, gabagoo. And we're just like, yo, we're trying to figure it out, too, dog. If you got any suggestions, just gobble at me.
That's not to say, though, we're going to be perfect and everything is going to be top tier, when the kids do start entering the group chat. But, like, it can be better than where we at right now.
Yeah. I'd say, like, if we wanted to go into the big leagues of parenting, we'd probably be in, like, D League.
Wait, what do you mean?
So, like, there's, like, D League, G League.
I know what that means, but what do you mean by that statement?
We're not as prepared. We haven't got enough shots up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True.
My handles ain't together yet.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure the heme crossover Timmy fillet is right.
You've been doing basketball entirely
for when
too much.
You know what I'm saying? For when the kid come, I gotta be able to fillet it. And I got a lot of things I want to teach my son and daughter. I hope we have both. My grandpa had 6 girls. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Tried. Yeah, but unfortunately, alas. I hope that doesn't happen to me though. I want a boy, just one. Even if it was like 4 girls, 1 boy,
you'd be okay. For me, I just want 1 girl, and then we'll be good.
Give me my son.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but there is a lot of like auditing still left to do, I think, before kids need to enter the situation.
Yeah.
Even auditing toxic behaviors. At least for me, that's something that I've been trying to like work on, be more conscious of and stuff. So even like, although I feel like my patience has gotten better, it can be better. It's probably a C league or whatever. And I would like it to be more towards an A, because I really want to try to embody as much as I can of who my mother is and the type of upbringing she gave me, which was full of patience and full of love and full of just, and that's why I feel like I turned out to be such a dope human being, because I came from one. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I just have this, and this is kind of the Virgo in me. I have this like expectation of the type of parent that I would like to be, although I can't promise that it'll be like that.
I'm going to warn you right now. Crumble it up and throw it away right now.
I know.
Any expectation of what you have as a parent will more than likely fall short, and you'll end up being in some kind of depression. But I can still say I want to be... Dang. You going to tell me I'm going to be in a depression? No. Because it's not like a full-blown depression, but like if you set like super high expectations as to what it looks like for you to be a parent. I've seen what you've done with the expectations.
I know.
And I've seen how they come back to hit you in the face.
I know.
So what I'm saying... Just from this
but
is
I can still want better patience.
This is a me and you thing. Say that you want patience. Don't set an expectation for what that looks like. Just say you want to improve.
Okay.
You want to improve on your patience.
Yeah. I want to improve.
But when you start setting expectations, that means that things can either fall short or above it.
True.
There's no expectation, then it's just I'm going.
He has had to teach me that over the years in multiple categories of my life.
Yes, because expectations can really demotivate you if things fall short.
Yeah.
And if you like really set your hopes on these expectations and they fall short, then it hurts even more. And I don't know if it's a Virgo thing or just an easy thing.
It might be an easy thing. But I put an expectation on almost everything.
Yep.
And like even as simple as when I get my lashes done, I expect you to acknowledge it. And if you don't, then my feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
Just simple stuff like, and it's like, that can't be healthy.
And sometimes it's not even like a matter of like, it's like how I say it. Even if I say it and it's not how you expect
Envisioned
it.
it,
Yeah, it's
right.
not how I envisioned you saying it.
Yeah.
Then it still kind of hurts you. And I'm like, well, see, look, I can't help you with that.
I know.
I can't be that.
I don't know what that's about.
And I always reiterate to her, I said, set your
Set them on
expectations
the
at the
floor.
floor. Just
Yeah.
put them on the ground. And then everything just shoots right above it. Like, even when we went to Kitchen and Cocktails, didn't know anything about it.
Your expectations.
Floor. I was like, the food could be good. It could be bad. I'm just hungry. Food turned out great. Woo! Exceeded whatever my low expectation was.
When and why do you think you were taught that? Or did you teach yourself that? Like, to have low.
I'll tell you where it came
Okay.
from. It's
And I'll explain why I feel like I have high expectations after you're done.
so this is I don't want to feel like I'm like taking a shot at my upbringing or like my parents, but like throughout my childhood there was things promised to me that didn't happen. And after a while I just stopped believing it. And I think that kind of just carried over into everything. So like when people make me promise, like a lot of people, and not even just my family, a lot of people have made me promises,
Yeah.
and they've just never came through. I feel like I'm like the one person that like makes promises for other people, and then like it bugs me if I don't come through. But it seems like when it was time for it to come my way, it was whatever. So then after a while, I was just conditioned to be like, all right, I have no expectations of you. When I give, I have no expectations of return. When I give of myself to people, I have no expectations of return. I have no expectations of people's good nature.
So that was your way of guarding your heart, low key.
Essentially a guard. And you know, at first I thought of it like this is a bad thing. I should probably expect more out of people. And you can expect like respect. You can expect decency. And like you can set like a standard of like, you know, but like when I start setting like in terms of like investing, setting unrealistic expectations of what that investment's going to look like. And if it falls short, then I'm like, don't do that. I set like a low expectation. If I say like, I'm just trying to make like a 2 or 3% return on this investment over the course of the next month, makes it 10%. Great.
Yeah.
Great. But if I said 20% and it made 10%, now I'm looking at the 10% like, ugh.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I think that mine is opposite of that because ding, 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 my mother and my upbringing. Because, like, you see my mom. You got to see my mom, how she is. You can, like, I'm trying to think of the simplest things. I can cut those roses perfectly in this vase and place them in there, and it's going to be oh, my God.
She's going to celebrate you.
Yes.
She's going to celebrate
everything. So I think that it's not fair, but that's why I've had this skewed perception of having expectations for others. Even when it comes to like when I get my lashes done, and your reaction might not be what I'm used to. Like my mother's reaction, be like, "Girl, you look good," like extra.
Yeah.
But like the extraness also that's what I've experienced for the last 27 years. It's just poured into me. So I almost expect everyone to have this, but it's not the case.
Nope.
It's not the case. But I'm growing to learn and understand that more, though. I just had a very naive and skewed perspective for a long time of this world and how relationships and friendships and like everything was supposed to work.
Yeah.
Because of how I was raised. And it's even crazy because both of us have different expectations or lack thereof based off upbringing.
Yeah.
And like, I think we were talking about this kind of recently, just how interesting it is that a person's upbringing heavily shapes who they are and who they become as an adult, or like their thought process, their morals, their like, it goes deep.
It goes
Way deep. Yeah.
I think you got a little taste of that when you saw my godmom. You saw, like, very kind spirited.
100%. You remind her spirit reminds me of yours, or yours reminds me of her. Yeah.
For 11 years of probably some of the most crucial years of my life.
Pinnacle years.
That good spirit rubbed off on me. So there's a lot that plays into all that. But retracting back, don't set your expectations too high.
Yeah, no, I need to control. No, I'm aware, but I know, I understand where it comes from though.
Yeah.
Where my high expectations and my mother.
Yeah.
It's always been an angel.
You can always aim to improve. You can always aim to improve. But yeah, I don't want to discourage people setting goals that seem unreachable.
Goals are different to me.
Are they?
Goals are not
Okay.
expectations.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want that to get confused.
Yeah.
It's very okay.
I'm gonna keep setting my high goals, to be honest.
Set goals to the moon. Like, sky is definitely not the limit. The sky is the floor.
And I feel like with your goals too, you're more so in control of attaining them. Whereas expectations, if we're talking about like expecting something out of someone else, you can't control what their reaction or their
Especially if
is
you
gonna
haven't
be.
communicated that like if you don't communicate your expectation with people, then don't expect them to hit it.
That's something else I have to learn
Please don't-
in
like-
my 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that you worked on with like friendships and in this relationship. It's like, okay, well, let me just tell you what my expectations are of this relationship or of this friendship. If you feel like you can live, if you feel like those are cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Right.
We're good.
Right.
All right. If you feel like there needs to be some negotiation in between, if there's something that like maybe you can't bring to the table, maybe you can. Maybe it's too much to ask for you to check up on me twice a week. Maybe you can do once a week. Okay, cool. Now we're on the same page, but now we have an expectation list that's doable.
I'm glad you mentioned that though, actually, because I think it's not talked about enough. Adult friendships and maintaining them. And like the fact that in particular, like, my closest friendships, I've known them for over half my life. So it's just interesting as we've grown into adults, things change. Like the way we thought as teenagers is obviously not how we think as middle age 20s or, late 20s or whatever. And I'll never forget the conversation I had with my cousin earlier this year, just about, because she's in her 30s, and she was just talking about friendships that she has lost or whatever that transpired over the years. And she went to, well, this is not what she went to therapy for, but her therapist, they were talking about it, and her therapist had mentioned to her basically like, it's interesting that when you have a romantic relationship and a situation like occurs or whatever with your partner, y'all gotta talk about it. Y'all gotta work it out. That's the only way your relationship can continue. Whereas it's naive to think that with friendships, especially long-term friendships, that nothing is ever going to arise. There's never going to be conflict or anything. Things are always going to be peachy. That's unrealistic. But the difference is people don't handle romantic relationships the same way they handle people don't handle friendships the same way they handle romantic relationships, in the sense of communication.
Yeah.
And talking about expectations. Because I feel like even when you were just saying that, the expectations I had of you in this relationship, I feel like I got all that out kind of early in the beginning with the cheat codes to my heart and what I want out of my man and all that stuff. But like, I never really even thought to do that in terms of my friendships. Like, what do I want out of a friendship?
And like, I also think that's it's sort of a complex question, especially when you're dealing with adult relationships, because I'm sure like when you first meet an adult, you're not just gonna be like, all right, so these are my
no.
These are my expectations
right.
of what this relationship is gonna look like. But like, I feel like it's built over time, but like when things don't get addressed, I think as problems occur, that's when you start building these expectations. Like, okay, so
like, oh, I didn't like how that.
I really didn't like how that happened. So just moving forward, I expect something different. And like, you slowly build those things, but as an adult relationship, you should be able to speak like adults.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is uncommon. People are scared to address conflict.
And isn't that crazy? Because it's crazy, because it's like people that you can be the closest with, but like, is there any sign of like, you don't want to talk about it?
And no one likes to be putting, like, I know a lot of people don't like conflict. Obviously, most people avoid it if at all costs, at all corners of the world. People be like, let me just avoid the conflict because, I ain't got time for the drama.
Right.
Sometimes you need to have time for the drama, because otherwise it's going to keep resurfacing.
That, and maybe it doesn't even have to be drama.
It doesn't. It could just be
to me,
an
it's just a
adult
conversation. Yeah.
Hey, look, I don't like the way you've been talking to me.
Yeah.
As simple as that. It was like, hey, look, I'm not trying to start no beef or nothing, but like, when you ask me for stuff, you don't ask, you just say it. Or like, when you, like, I don't like that.
Right. That something as simple as that, actually.
Something as simple as that, but it could fester because, like, if you don't address that, if you don't be an
keep
adult and
talking
talk
to you
about, they're gonna keep talking you
Yeah.
crazy. Then they're gonna do something else.
Yeah.
So now
It's pissing
your
you
adult
off.
conversation has become more complex because you didn't address the first problem, and now there's 2 other problems right behind that. So now we're having a real deep conversation. And if you didn't like conflict before, you sure ain't gonna like the compounded conflict.
Right. Compound. Yes, that's real. Compounded conflict.
It just starts with, you know, I feel like a big part of being an adult is being a communicator.
100%.
You got to be able to communicate with your coworkers,
Yep.
your peers,
Your partner.
your children. You have to be a
You
good
have
It's
to.
like a requirement of
Yeah,
adulthood
there's
to
no
be a
way.
proficient communicator.
There's no other way. I remember in the beginning of our relationship, I feel like we had a similar conversation, not exactly, but similar to this, just of like, because I used to text you my problems. Like if I had an issue or I was upset or sad about something,
days.
he could be in the same room as me. I would send a long ass text. And I think one day you confronted me like, we should be able to communicate about, like, talk
Something.
about this type of stuff.
should be
We're
able to talk
adults.
about this.
And that, I feel like that started to click for me. Like, yeah, I should address stuff out loud. And it doesn't have to be, because at least for me, how I handle my relationships and stuff, if there is a conflict or there's an issue that I want to communicate about, I'm not going to come at it with some rah-rah stuff. I'm not going to be heated. I'm not going, because obviously these are people I care about. So I'm not going to give you that energy. And I would hope I don't get that energy back. That's why I think in my head, it could be so simple in terms of a conversation. If it's with like a loved one, a family member, a friend, your significant other or whatever, because it should be coming from a place of love.
Yeah.
But again, if it has compounded conflict, then that does
Yeah.
get a little bit harder.
And I think the only other thing that could complicate that is the person on the receiving end of that conversation not being willing to listen.
That's true.
You got 2 ears, 1 mouth. You should be listening twice as much as you talk. I say that a lot
You do.
because it's true, especially when there's conflict brought to your table. When conflict is brought to your table, this is not the time to bring your conflicts to the table.
I need to let that out.
It's not the time for you to say, okay, well, since we're just putting it on the table, let me tell you what you do. Because now you're both trying to say something to each other and no one is listening anymore. You're both talking. It's
Yeah.
just-
And nobody's getting heard.
No one's getting heard.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do for yourself, take it. Take it like a woman, take it like a man, take it like whatever you are, okay? Take it. Take it. If someone brings conflict to your table, take it. Internalize
If it's
it.
respectful.
If it's respectful,
that's
if
key,
it's in a
though.
respectful manner,
Yeah.
you can always be like, "Hey, look, you can tell me
Yeah.
in a proper tone. You can tell me in a proper tone. Tell me, give me a minute
To digest it.
to digest it,
Yeah.
internalize it, because it's gonna take a minute. And trust me, y'all, I've been in situations where she's come and told me about myself, and yes, I have an excuse. I have a reason to rebuttal. I have a reasoning for my actions, and I also have things that I want to get off my chest as well. But what I do is I just get silent. I take it. I hear you, and I will do better. If I have something else to say, maybe I'll write it down and I'll have a conversation later
Yeah.
about that. But that conversation was not for me to get my stuff off. That was for me to hear what was coming from the hurt party.
Yeah. That's one of the things I appreciate about you most, to be honest.
This lesson is so important for people to understand, because all the time people want to excuse their behaviors and they don't want to internalize the crap or the toxic behaviors that they have. They're too busy defending it with lame excuses as to why their actions met up with their decisions. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care if I cut you off and you slap me.
Wait, what?
If I accidentally cut you in line, maybe I didn't even realize I cut you in line. But if
Right.
you slap me and I say, yo, you slap me. Well, you cut me in line. Well, you slap me. Well, if I said you slap me, it's like, dang, you know what? I probably shouldn't have slapped you. Hey, by the way, though,
You cut me in
you
line.
cut me in line. Oh, dang, I didn't even realize I did that. My bad.
Right. All could be so simple.
All could be so simple if
And-
everyone just took a second to just listen.
I was going to say that's something that I can admit and live at my edge, that I am trying to do better for you in this relationship. Because there are times where you'll bring me something And I can make, you can literally, you can make an
excuse your
excuse
way out of
for everything. There, and you know, like you always say, I have a mouthpiece on me, so I can talk myself in and out of whatever.
Yes.
But just trying to get better, because ultimately too, I feel like a lot of the way I'm trying to learn how to love on you the best way possible will trickle over obviously into parenthood as well, though. So I don't want one of our kids to tell me that I did something that hurt their feelings and I got an excuse for that shit. I need to just listen, because
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Just take it.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes from kids.
Yeah.
Because if you start excusing yourself to your kids,
Yeah.
they're going to be like, all right,
It's
well,
gonna be a disconnect.
we're not talking anymore.
Exactly.
Because you obviously think you can do no wrong.
Exactly. So that's something that I'm trying to get better at. It's so easy though.
It's very easy.
It is hard
It's
to hold.
Man, I'm telling you, it sucks. It sucks being told about yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Newsflash, if you didn't already know, it sucks to be told that you did something wrong.
But none of us are perfect.
Accept it. Just
None of
accept
us,
it.
yeah.
Just freaking accept it. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to somebody and been like, yo, you know, I felt some type of way about this. Or like, you know, this hurt my feelings. And they instantly rebuttal with like, but you do this. Let's just stop.
Right.
Let's just stop.
I think that is probably one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, and I just realized that because oftentimes you get the question, "Oh, what's your biggest pet peeve?" And I think I usually, hold on, that's Mama. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Mom, we're filming. Are you here? Okay. Love you. And I know you watching this right now, Mom. You are never on time. She just now talking about she on her way. I thought she was on her way at noon.
She about to take off right now.
What was I freaking saying? Oh, pet peeve. That's one of my pet peeves too.
Oh, timeliness?
Skip you. I'm talking about
Oh.
whatever.
Yeah, don't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Back to what I was saying though. That is a huge pet peeve of mine though. Because it's like, especially if it's like something deep that I want to address and talk about, this is not the time for you to now tell me all the things that I have done to you that you've held in, because now that I want to talk, you know what I mean?
Because if you were hurt by it and it really hurt you,
then say that shit.
you should have said it.
Say that shit.
You should have said it way back when it hurt you.
Man.
But I mean, that's a big problem. Stuff gets lost in translation because people are afraid to communicate. I was one of them. I used to. I have. I think it's. I honestly think this is an Aquarius thing. It's the Aquarius in me. But we tend to hold stuff in for the sake of the greater good, and then when we reach a boiling point, boom.
Yeah. It's like, where the hell did all this come from?
Where's all this emotion coming from?
Yeah.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's a toxic behavior. Something that I needed to work on. My toxic behavior is petty behavior.
If you don't address what,
if I don't address something that offended me or felt some type of way, instead I'll make like a slick petty comment or a slick petty remark or something slick and petty,
or do something,
or do something very slick or petty, like unplug your charger or something. Like, instead of communicating, when really, like, if I just communicated, it probably would go away. It probably wouldn't happen again. But instead, I'll be like, oh. And then, like, you ask me something, I'll say something petty.
Right.
And I'll be like, yeah. And I'll catch myself.
But you're starting to, ever
I
since
catch
we had
myself
that
the
talk,
exact moment I do it, and I'll be like, oh.
you're doing it.
I'm doing it again. When really I should just. But, like, sometimes I think the reason why that happens to me personally a lot is because in the moment, when something does offend me, either I don't have the right words, or I have the right words, but it's mixed in with some other words that are just hurtful. And I don't want to say it then. It doesn't seem right. But by the time I do want to say it, I forgot about the topic. I forgot. If I'm living at my edge, I forgot what made me mad. And that should speak to itself right there. If I can forget about it in 5 minutes.
Oh, my God. Are we going to tell them about this new crap that you do with me now?
Oh, yeah. This is a really cool thing. So, like, she usually, it's a really cool thing. It works like a charm every time.
Whatever.
But she sometimes feels some type of way. Like, sometimes I say some stuff, y'all, I'm a comedian. Okay, some things go over, some
He
things go under. Okay, some things go up, some things go down.
Not all the jokes work.
Not all the jokes work. Some of them sink. Okay, and during those times where some of them jokes are like some of the things I say sink, it kind of puts her in the mood. And then now I have this thing, and I'm like, it ain't gonna matter in 5 minutes. It ain't gonna matter. You're gonna forget that I even said it in like 5 minutes. So why are you upset now? And then she gets over it. And that's a great thing. Like, y'all, take a second to think about the stuff that you get mad at.
Yeah.
Take a second to think, like, is it this deep?
Usually when you say that, I will always just laugh it off because I'm like, he's probably freaking right. And I think it's just a part of like getting older. In particular, we're on the path of marriage now, which is long-term AF. So it's kind of like really picking and choosing your battles is important for the health of this relationship. How much, how long, how much you're going to dwell on something as simple as you left the cereal box out.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Are you going to spend $10,000
right.
on the guy that stole $10 from you?
Yeah.
I think they broke it down like the dollars were representative of the amount of seconds in a day.
Okay. Oh, right.
You have like, I forget, it was like some $100,000 or something like that, right? Someone steals $10 from you. So instead of just taking the L on the $10, you spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars
Pissed.
just trying to right the wrong of that person that stole $10 from you.
Right.
And really, you should have been like, well, you got them 10 seconds. That's all you got.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to really work on. I think that it'll bring me peace, allow less stress in my life. Like even when we were talking about kind of recently, if you're driving on the highway, somebody cuts you off and you rah, 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 pissed off, cussing them out, middle fingers, everything. They already gone. They don't even, not only are they gone, they don't even know you're pissed.
No.
They don't even know.
Don't even know.
When we had that talk, it just brought so much full circle to my life because I'm just like, so much wasted energy and anger and stress over stuff that don't even affect the person that I'm upset about or whatever. Like,
don't be that guy that's mad at the red light.
Man.
Don't be that guy. And oh gosh, this has nothing to do with anything, but don't be the guy that honks 1 second after the light turns green. I hate that. I hate this so much. Oh. It happens to me way too often in Chicago. I really try not to let it get to me. I'll literally be looking at the light just like the person in front of me. And like, it'll turn green. Right when it turns green. Beep, beep.
You should hold.
I do. After a while, like
they're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, if you're gonna get pissed and honk at me for 1 second, I'm gonna make sure that honk was worth it. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure the honk is worth it. Yeah. So if I get that, like if it turns green and I get a honk immediately after, I'm gonna take a second to pause. I'm gonna look both ways. I'm gonna take my time because you, sir, are impatient.
Yeah.
I gotta teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
Teach you a lesson.
Yeah. Not in that way though.
Nope. Not like that. All right, we're loopy tired, man. That's it, man.
Oh my gosh. How long have we been going?
I don't know.
Oh, we hit the hour
about
mark.
an hour. Okay. Yeah. That's all we have for you
hit them
guys.
with a lot.
We hit you guys with
That's
a lot.
what's been going on lately.
Some free game, just our 2 cents on stuff. Again, y'all, we're not know-it-alls. Okay, so whatever you heard in here, think about it.
Food for thought. Food for thought.
Think about it. Just think. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm just asking you to think. Is that doing something? Okay, I'm asking you to do something. I'm asking you to think. Okay. But yeah, we got some more lit content coming you guys' way.
Oh, yeah.
We're going places.
Yeah.
We're going places.
Yeah.
So just stay tuned because we're going places.
Hey.
And we're doing some cool things. I have this really cool.
You gonna tell him? You
No.
gonna just drop it?
I'm going to drop it.
Okay.
I got this really cool, fun idea. So we're
Post
gonna do it.
notifications. Turn them
Post
on.
notifications turned on. We're trying to do way better about bringing you guys more content that's not necessarily us
Sitting
down.
down
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We saw the comments. We hear you, quality crew.
We hear you.
Honestly,
We hear you.
You guys are catching us in an interesting transitional period right now.
Yeah.
These were easy to do, but we understand this is not our channel. Isn't just because a lot of people are like, "Is this all your channel's gonna be now?" No, this is not.
No,
We're just
no,
in
no,
a
no.
phase
We're
at
in
the
a
moment.
phase of growth, and like, you know, when you're trying to do multiple things at one time, it can get tough. So we figured this is good. This is a good. We can do this while we're working on other things. But we got some more stuff coming you guys' way.
Yeah.
So regular. I forget what I was gonna say, but
If
Josh
you don't
and Isi,
already know,
Josh and Isi is back.
oh, where do we go?
I don't know.
Baby, let's close this video.
Let's close it. I told you we loopy at this point.
No, you. You.
All right, but if you don't already know, I'm Hydrated Hero. She's Isimeme Edeko. Together we are Josh and Isi. Now you can follow one of us. You can follow two of us. You can follow all three of us. You might as well follow all three of us because we are happy, healthy, and hydrated on all three. But other than that, y'all, until we meet again, peace, love, hair
grease and we
hair
out.
grease, and we out. Go answer the phone. Love y'all. Hey, subscribe. Hey, new video. Hey, it's quality. Hey, it's quality.